What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Foxley. Joining me today is Muzz and Dine something.
But Fox is gonna be good.
Oh, sorry, my voice took a while to load in there. Who is the observer? Do you know? Whose camera will they see?
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Do you know who the observer is today? Who will be controlling the camera?
Yeah, like I guess he would need to.
Okay, it feels like there's a bit of a communication problem here between the casters as
Oh my goodness, why are you gonna go rape him?
okay, I don't know what's going on. Sand King ban, Warlock ban, Oracle ban, pretty standard bans, all or nothing. I think they know that Jace Effect like playing Sand King, and Oracle is a pretty standard ban for them. It's a really strong hero and they don't play it as much. Grimstroke first pick. This is a very standard pick for all or nothing, as they can pick the Doom into it, but they can also pick other heroes in case the Doom does get banned or picked by the other team. So it's a very solid standard pick, and it's good in laning stage as well. Jace Effect banned Ember Spirit, Omni Knight, and Monkey King. Omni Knight with his Neri power is pretty strong. I would just like to know, do the other casters hear me, or am I solo? Okay, I do not have any info, so as far as I know, there is either a communication problem or some technical difficulties. But as far as I know, I am solo at the moment. Shadow Shaman pick for Jace Effect there. A lot of right click damage in lane. 2 disables, which makes him pretty strong in late game as well. Having a Hex is always strong on a support, so he's a pretty nice late game support. All in all, pretty good first pick.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And they go into reserve time, does Jace Effect. Not exactly sure what they want to pick for the second pick. It's a Templar Assassin as a second pick. That's pretty surprising, and immediately this Fen pick from All or Nothing. They knew exactly what they want to do, and I wonder if they thought Jace Effect's gonna ban it, or if it's a support Fen, why they pick it so early. But that's two very interesting second picks, Templar Assassin and Sven there. Not exactly sure what to make of that, but yeah, here we are. Okay, and a Winter Wyvern ban. All or Nothing, they usually, rightfully so, they banned that Winter Wyvern, they banned the Oracle, both heroes that are extremely good at healing, and that's a Leech ban from Jace Effect. Leech with his Armor Shell is very strong in lane this meta, and yeah, it seems like both teams are banning quite a bit of support, and All or Nothing actually banning Naga Siren, which is surprising, as Kyo is a star Naga Siren player. And it will be interesting to see exactly why they would ban Naga. I'll ask them after the game, because as far as I know, Sven is pretty good against Naga, except if it's a support Sven. So we'll see that.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Okay, sorry guys, a bit of a technical difficulty there. I was just trying to figure out some things with the other casters, and it seems like I am solo casting at the moment. Doom is the third pick there for Jace Effect, so they do stop all or nothing from getting that Doom Grimstroke combo, which is pretty good to have. All or Nothing did have the opportunity to get that combo, but they decided to go with this Fen instead, so they are
10 seconds.
either they didn't really want to go for the Doom combo, or they are putting a lot on this second pick Sven here.
Team pick.
Third pick for AoN is a Spirit Breaker. That's a very awesome pick to see, and it's going to probably be a Ramsey Spirit Breaker. Extremely irritating hero and extremely strong if you know how to play him. A lot of people see him as a noob hero, but it's definitely not that. You need to know exactly when to rotate, you need to know what items to go, and you need to be where your team needs you at all times and have extreme impact throughout the game. One of the heroes with the most HP at the start of the game, so very, very tank hero. Early game, you'll usually get an Orb of Venom on him just to make ganks even stronger than it already is. Okay, and only 7 seconds left on reserve time here for Jace Effect. I wonder how that happened. Maybe they are not exactly sure what to pick here. That's 1 second left, maybe. And that's a Tusk pick there. That should be a roaming Tusk. So it's gonna be Templar Assassin mid, or even safe lane most likely. And they pick Tusk 4th pick. So very interesting. Positions
10
picked
seconds remaining. 5 seconds
very
remaining.
interesting when they pick the heroes that they do pick.
Dire team ban.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Wind Ranger pick from All or Nothing there. Wind Ranger pretty good against Templar Assassin, does have that evasion to help, and basically if Templar Assassin doesn't do the right click damage, doesn't do damage at all. Obviously Doom is good against Wind Ranger as well, but who isn't he good against?
Remaining.
And Tusk's ultimate does pierce through the
5 seconds.
evasion from Wind Ranger. So I think Wind is a pretty good pick. I think they probably went him for the Templar Assassin.
Radiant team pick.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like both teams are thinking quite a bit here. Both of them using a lot of their time, and All or Nothing still has a lot of reserve time left, but the Jace Effect, I wonder if it slipped their minds or what, but they don't have any reserve time at the moment, and that might come back to bite them.
Dire team pick.
What's your way?
Choose your hero.
Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Okay, what's up? The people can't hear you in game, by the way,
Yeah, we've been muted in game because
because
it
of,
was going to be weird.
Okay.
The thing is, you were going to have an open mic, we were going to have an open mic, and they were going to hear a very weird cast, I think. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So do we all just mute on Discord now, and then we can hear each other in game, or otherwise? it's
no.
gonna
You
echo?
must keep Discord open. Go to your settings, go to audio, and mute your co-broadcaster.
Okay.
So if you open settings, go to audio, there it says mute co-broadcast, and then you open the team mic, and then we just chat through Discord normally.
Okay. What's okay, thanks. And then sorry, what's the
Have you-
other one? And then
Open the team mic.
okay, cool.
Have you started yet, or did you
Yeah,
do the whole
I
draft?
started, but no, it was a pretty. Don't worry about it. It was a bit
No,
of
no,
a
no, I'm
mess
just
up. It
wondering
was a
if
bit
we-
of a mess up. I'll start us off now if you want me to.
No, I was just gonna say because we obviously didn't do any of the drafting because
Yeah.
I don't know, we were
I
waiting
did a
for
little
you,
bit,
we
but I
weren't
was kind of
waiting, like-
communicating with you and one of the viewers.
No, that's fine. Cool. I'll open my mic now. Then I'm gonna keep quiet, and when you guys want to start, we can get
Yeah.
into the game.
I'll just
I don't
start.
mind.
You'll know when I start, and then
No, yeah, that's fine.
Must I use G or my Discord hotkey to talk? Or to hear in game?
You die.
I know.
Yet your failure lives on.
Easy breezy.
Yeah, you don't need to mute Discord. Talk normally through Discord. You just mute your co-broadcaster and you open that team mic. That's it.
Do I set a hotkey for team mic or what?
I mean, just have it open. Just have an open team mic. Like, why do you need a hotkey?
Okay, I have it selected. Okay.
I mean, anyway, that's your preference and choice anyway, so whatever.
are you guys ready for me to start the broadcast?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Go for it, dude.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Foxley. I'm joined here by Muzzy and Cocaine and Wine. This is a 3-man broadcast today and should be an interesting game. It's First Division, DGL AoN versus the Jace Effect.
Yeah, what's up, guys? What's happening this evening? Should be good.
Seems like it is paused at the moment. If we go up in the chat, we should see. Do you know why they are paused at the moment or not?
Let's see. Looks like our TA from Jace Effect seems to be disconnected. Maybe they're just struggling with some telecom problems.
Yeah, this is it happens from time to time in DGL, but that's fine. We can talk about the draft so far a little bit. It seems like AoN did go for that Grimstroke pickup pretty early into the game, but I can't quite spot the combo. Do you maybe see the combo with the Grimstroke, or do you think it's just for the laning phase that they picked him?
You die.
I think all you're gonna get out of that Soulbind is maybe a Storm Hammer and like a double Shackle Shock.
Yeah,
But
and
other
then
than
also
that, the
Barra
Pango
ultimate.
and the Storm and the Barra, I don't think I'm gonna really do much with the Soulbind. I was actually telling Cocaine here just now. There's not like on the side of the supports here, on the side of AoN, there's not like lots of stun and disable, like because the Grim doesn't do much and the Barra's not gonna do much either.
I think they do have a lot of disable because they have Shackle, they have Sven Stun, they have Barra. I think all
Well,
of
I
them
mean,
have
that's the thing,
disables.
so,
They
like-
don't have one hero with a ridiculous amount of disable, but overall it should get the job done.
Okay, so that's fine. So like if Jace Effect had to choose like a high mobility hero, like if they had say like an Ember or a Storm Spirit,
Yeah,
then
even
I
the
think
Slark is
all
a
or
pretty
nothing.
good pick,
Yeah,
considering.
exactly. Then I think all or nothing we're going to be in a bit of trouble because fine, you've got Shackle Shock from the Wind and the Stormhammer coming in from the Sven, but your supports aren't going to do much.
Yeah.
You know, there's literally 0 stun on a Grim. He's got a silence, and the Burrow definitely has no stun. He's just got a bash.
Okay, and it does seem like Jace Effect, they don't really have an answer this game for the Wind Ranger, or maybe if they get the Doom off, but I mean Wind Ranger is pretty good against Templar Assassin and it's good against Slark, which is the two main carries there for Jace Effect, so I'm expecting quite a bit here for Wind Ranger this game. And but you'll never know. Maybe Doom gets a good Doom off, or Tusk gets a good Walrus punch off, and they catch that Wind Ranger off guard. But it seems to me like it's going to be pretty strong this game. Overall, I would favor AoN's draft, except if Jace Effect managed to get some very good initiations there with the Doom, and if Doom can just get out of control with his farm in lane.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to say. I think like Slark's gonna maybe snowball quite quickly and early. So does the TA. TA is kind of like a drow in that way, is that they snowball quite fast.
Yeah, the problem with Slark is like he is a hero where you need like some items on him and then he really starts snowballing. But it's debatably not that good this patch to wait for one of the heroes to get an item, as it is a patch where a lot of people fight. As you can see in the bottom lane already, 3 heroes going on Darkness already dropping to 100 HP there. That's quite a bad start for Doom, as he already only has 2 Tangers in the lane near bottom.
Yeah, and he's going to go up against a Trilane as well, which is going to harass him. Plus, okay, so there's Ink Swell here on the Grim. There's no Stroke of Fate, so I actually can't harass him for an early lane.
He will use his Ink Swell to harass as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be good on Sven, and Sven can use something like a Warcry as well, and it can run in and just be beefy and tanky. Plus, you've got a Burrow on his side as well, which...
Baron Biceps top lane, 3 euros on him. He actually almost got ganked there, but he did manage to shackle shot out of the way before anything too detrimental happened.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, something's coming out. They want to go on Darkness. Darkness is stuck here, and this is going to be first blood onto Keo. That is an insanely good play there, blocking Doom into the trees, and that is a first blood. Some banter coming through with the voice lines from Ramzid and Pangalia.
Yeah, you're going to find
Baron
a bit
Biceps harass a little bit onto Tusk, but Tusk will take that trade any day, as he does harass Baron Biceps back, and it is going to contest his farm there in the top lane. Baron Biceps trying his best to get farm here, but is actually dropping pretty low. He might actually die here. He doesn't have Shackle Shot for 2 more seconds, and they do get the kill, a return kill there onto Baron Biceps, so not too bad here for team Jace Effects.
Yeah, charge coming out there from the Burrow as well, trying to just harass that Tusker. I think the Slark's probably going to get a bit of farm here in the lane. The thing is, I mean, Biceps here doesn't really have a supporting lane to help him. You can throw ice shots coming out from the Tusker. Yeah, they're going to harass the jungle. Yeah, okay, so there's... I mean, they've got the support Shaman in the jungle. He might just fall just... Nah, it should be fun.
Yeah, it seems like Skippy and Baron Biceps is doing a decent job to at least contest some farm here, contest the pool at the very least. But overall, Jace Effect's definitely winning this lane so far with the first blood and only 1 last hit onto Baron Bicep. Skippy getting harassed quite a bit. Shadow Shaman should be careful as he is pretty low HP. Baron Bicep does decide to get back for now. They do go on Shadow Shaman, but I don't think Baron Bicep has enough HP. Does get a little bit of harassment onto the Shadow Shaman there in the top lane, and Shadow Shaman might actually fall here. They do have the Orb of Venom stack onto Shadow Shaman. A re-engage onto Skippy, and end of the day it's just a little bit of harassment both ways, and you will take that if you are Jace Effect, harassing Pangalia and Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, Shaman didn't go for the shackles first, so he's just got Aethershock for the harass, but I mean, he could have shackled that Pango, then maybe got a potential kill with his Tusker. But yeah, so it doesn't have any disabling as of the moment.
Oh, that's true, yeah, because 140 magic damage at the start of the game, especially if it takes 100 mana, it's not really, debatably not really worth it. It's not a lot of damage. Middle lane, Remedy might actually get this kill onto the Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin does have Refraction active, so it's not going to be a kill quite yet, but still very good lane here for Remedy. Tusk, top lane, does fall. They do get the kill onto Ramsey there. They would have liked to have it on Baron Biceps, but a kill is a kill.
Yeah, and they got the Inkswell out as well, which got the kill at the end of the day. Didn't use his Stroke of Fate.
And
No,
Kios
Doom.
gets a solo kill onto Doom there. That's pretty surprising, and probably Doom didn't expect Kyo to aggress with both his supports rotated, but it did happen, and Kyo does get the kill in the bottom lane. Top lane, AoN is pulling the other team's lane. I keep forgetting. Team Jace Effect's lane, and that's going to be pretty successful for them. Shadow Shaman overextending here a little bit. He should die, if I'm not mistaken. There is a charge onto Shadow Shaman, Inkswell as well. That's another stun, 2 stuns onto Shadow Shaman, and they're going to get the skill onto Baron Biceps, hopefully. 2 more hits should do it, and that is a kill onto Baron Biceps in the bottom lane. Good job from AoN. Maybe a little bit of an overextension from Shadow Shaman, not wanting to surrender that camp. But at the end of the day,
quite a bit of quite an easy kind of 3-man gank on him as well. Shaman easy to kill there, caught with no man as well. Farming.
Jump onto Ramsey in the top lane. Is Ramsey gonna fall here? Finally getting punished for what he did in the top lane. They do get the kill onto Ramsey though, but Ramsey did so much work. If they get Baron Biceps here as well, that would be worth it. Baron dropping pretty low now. He's low HP, low mana, doesn't have his Q off cooldown, and Spirit Breaker does charge in. It is going to be enough to save Pangolier for now. There is a shackle shot onto Spirit Breaker in the top lane. Pangolier still very low at the moment. It seems like AoN is aggressing on Tusk at the moment, but there shouldn't be a kill. But at least it seems like Pangolier might survive. No, Templar Assassin manages to catch him with a trap, and that's a kill onto Pangolier finally. Not exactly sure if it's worth it though with the Templar Assassin rotate. They do get a shackle. Extremely good shards there from Tusk, blocking 2 people in, and Bara does manage to escape with his Q. But good turnaround there from Jace Effect. Maybe a little bit of an overextension if you are AoN.
Yeah, double kill there going for the Shaman. Does have a couple of mangoes in the inventory as well, just to keep that Aftershock up. Gets himself a double kill. Where's he sitting? Yeah, 2 for 1 right now. It's pretty good for a support.
There's a Q onto Skippy in the top lane. He is blocked in at the moment, but they do actually re-engage onto Tusk. That Skippy dropping pretty low. He's actually the person that overextended here, and they do get another kill onto the Shadow Shaman. Killing spree here for Shadow Shaman 6 minutes into the game. Not something you always see, but it is nice to see. Remedy middle lane, getting some good harass on the Jace Effect, and the Jace Effect getting some good harass onto Remedy. Both mid players doing pretty well, both 30 last hits more or less, and yeah, middle lane,
Yes.
pretty even at
7.
the moment.
Yeah, it does manage to pick the regen as well. 7 denies a piece as well, giving themselves just a bit of decent gold as well.
Kyo, bottom lane, exchanging a little bit of harassment onto Doom. He does have his ultimate active. I don't think he's going to use it yet, but that is he does win the harassment game there in the top lane. I mean, in the bottom lane. Top lane, meanwhile, it seems like AoN just countered the tri-lane with a tri-lane of their own. They do trust that Sven will be able to solo lane against this Doom, and so far it is paying off as Sven is doing quite well. Top lane, Tusk dropping pretty low. He does have the silence on him and stun, and that's going to be a kill onto the Tusk. A bit delayed there, but it seems like Slark wants revenge as he does turn on to Ramzid. Not going to be enough though. And yeah, that's a little bit of a sloppy play there from the Jace Effect. Again, overextending there in their own top jungle.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they don't have a lot of catch on the side of AoN, but they're still able to get the kills here in this jungle. I mean, the Bar's doing enough work.
Remedy is
The
going
Grimstrip
on
as well
Jace
does
Effect here in the
decent
middle
work.
lane. This is going to be a solo kill if he gets it. Does get the shackle. That's a solo kill onto Remedy. Onto the Jace Effect from Remedy. Top lane though, Pangolier is shackled. That's going to be a kill onto Pangolier, except if he does manage to juke his way out of this one. I don't think he's going to be able to. They do get the kill onto Slark, Billy, a leash, and that is a killing spree onto Slark. So there's very high positives and very high negatives on both sides at the moment. Kyo harassing Doom in the bottom lane. He does get Doom. This shouldn't be enough to kill him, except if Doom wants to dive the tower. Baron Biceps does rotate in. He does harass Doom quite a bit in the bottom lane, and Doom will TP out there.
Yeah, I still had the shield crash as well, but that's not going to stop the TP, and his health was, I think, just enough that it wasn't going to die there as well. It's fun.
That's worth it there if you're Sven though. Baiting that Doom, something you'd always want to do. this early into the game. Now he doesn't have Doom for another 2 minutes. There's a charge onto Shadow Shaman in the top lane, and Wind Ranger's here. There should be a kill onto the Wind Ranger. Yes, Wind Ranger does get the kill. No, actually Skippy takes the kill, but still nice kill there from AoN. I can guarantee you Remedy is yelling at Skippy right now for taking that kill, but it happens. And
Yeah,
he does
Wind's got the
actually
power
go on Templar Assassin in the mid lane as well. It's not going to be enough to kill him quite yet, but he does maybe manage to kill him, and Jace Effect actually gets the kill first. Still, Remedy does get the kill, but that is quite a good turnaround there from Tusk. Very nice rotation, getting the XP and the gold onto his mid laner and the kill. So very nice rotation there from Tusk. Right in time, exactly what you want from your supports.
Yeah, it actually looked like he missed the power shot because, I mean, he's got a level 4 power shot, which should be strong enough to kill someone when it goes only through them. And yeah, I think he actually missed it here.
I think he had one more refraction charge on him right there. He was on his last refraction charge, and it managed to tank the power shot. And that's a dominating for Slark there. They do go on the Bara as well. Maybe they get 2 kills here on the Slark, which would be huge. Sven does stun the Shadow Shaman. Bara trying his best to juke. That's a double kill onto Billy Eilish, and that's very, very big there for the Jace Effect.
Yeah, he's already picked up 5 permanent agility from getting the kills. Almost got his diffusal blade up as well, which is going to be decent. Getting the mana break off on everyone on the side of AoN.
Yeah, and the worst spot is that is where he starts snowballing. Usually he's not that strong until he gets that diffusal blade, but it seems like this game is strong even before that, so it's going to be scary to see him with that item. Bottom lane though, Baron Biceps does go onto Tusk. Tusk should fall here, except if he gets a very good snowball off. There is a snowball onto Ramsey. Ramsey does go onto the high ground. They might get the skill onto the Wind Ranger, and Baron Biceps does manage to get the kill there with his swashbuckle. Bottom lane, Skippy still aggressing. He's going on the Doom as well. Doom is pretty tanky and his team is quite far away. They are pinging Doom out, and the Doom is going to TP out into his top jungle.
Yeah,
Middle lane aggressing onto Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin dropping pretty low. He is dusted, and that's a kill onto Remedy. Very nice dust pick up there from Remedy, assuring that he does get the kill onto Templar Assassin. No more Tusk TPs this time.
Yeah, and Kier just doing quite a lot of rotation. Did rotate into the top lane and now into the mid lane as well. So even as like a core Sven is still getting around the map enough to get off those kills. And I mean, that's a decent kill when you're picking off the core TA.
Yes, that is huge. 70 last hits on the Sven, and is roaming the map, getting kills for his team. Yes, that is something to take note of. He's doing that extremely well, and you can say the same for Remedy as well. I mean, Remedy is... He looks like a roamer at the moment. He doesn't look like a mid laner. He's just constantly looking for kills and still getting a decent amount of last hits while doing it. The Jace Effect under his own tier 2 tower, maybe even a little bit out of position here. There is a silence onto Jace Effect, and that's a shackle shot as well, and a Bara stun. They do have a dust for Jace Effect, and they do get the kill onto the Templar Assassin. They might want to go even deeper here onto the Shadow Shaman as well here. Underneath their own tier 2 tower, they do get 2 kills onto Baron Bicep. Huge plays there from AoN, just being extremely disrespectful, and it's paying off at the moment. Top lane, Doom does manage to get his Devour off in time, and that's a stun onto Doom. Doom is pretty tanky, so he should survive this. I say that, but Baron Biceps seems relentless in his aggression at the moment as he does go onto Doom. Doom drops pretty low, and that should be a Doom kill. It's a little bit awkward with the stuck between the Tusk shards. Doom still juking them, but they do finally get the kill. Remedy gets a shackle shot onto Slark, and that's a Skippy ultimate onto Slark as well. Slark does manage to leap out there right in time. Very good ultimate there from him, and that would have been a huge kill for AoN if they did get it. Almost gets power shotted, and very nice juke there from Slark. All in all, this is not too detrimental for the Jace Effect, despite how it might look. As you will see, it's only a 2k net worth lead for AoN at the moment. It's not that bad. They should just get everything together now and start counterplaying the way AoN is playing at the moment.
Yeah, the thing is, like, all or nothing, know that if you have like a Slark and a TA on your team, you can snowball very quickly. And I think like kind of this early high progression from the side of all or nothing is going to try cement in the game going into the mid to the late game, because they know if they allow, because I mean this tier has just picked up a double damage. He's able to farm quite quickly, get himself up some items. He's going for a quick deso. But the thing is, if you are able to kind of push and move quicker than a snowballing team that Jace Effect has, you can win the game. And I think All or Nothing know that this is the case. You know, decent kill of the tier there behind his tier 1 tower. And then, yeah, they need to just try snowball and move quicker.
4 people in the middle
side.
lane here. They do go on to Slock once again. Slock doesn't have his ultimate this time. 2 more seconds for his ultimate. 1 more second. Is he going to be able to cast it? He doesn't cast it in time and does get the kill. Is Baron Bicep. Skippy a little bit out of position here, but he should be able to escape here. They do re-aggress onto the Tusk and the Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin dropping pretty low. Double kill there for Baron. Triple kill for Baron Biceps, and very well played from Team AoN. It looked a little bit sketchy there when Bara died, but they do manage to turn the fight around. And yes, you can see like the effect of Templar Assassin and Doom, because usually when you cast a game like this, it would be like at least a 6k lead, but it's still only a 3k lead, even with all this going on. Kyo does get a stun onto Slock. Slock maybe a little bit out of position. They are actually going to turn onto Remedy here, and that's a kill onto Remedy. Well played there. 3-man rotation. This is going to be the 2 kills if they get this. This is Kyo as well. Billy is dropping pretty low, and Kyo does turn around and get the kill onto Slock just before he dies, but still that's pretty big if you are on the side of the Jace Effect, as you do get the 2 cores. That's exactly what they needed, and they might actually be able to push the middle tower here with 2 cores down. Templar Assassin does use his refraction, and that's going to be an easy mid tower. Skippy is close, and they might want to look for more here. Templar Assassin trap will spot Skippy, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. Ramzed, meanwhile, does get 2 bounty runes. Runes are extremely important, as it seems like AoN are going to get all 4. Ramzed maybe a little bit out of position if Tusk spots him here. Yeah, this should be a roll onto Tusk. Ramzed does use his Inkswell, which makes it a little bit difficult for Tusk. 2-man stun from the Inkswell, and that's going to be a return kill onto the Tusk. And Doom is silenced at the moment. Jace Effect chasing Ramzed at the moment, and it is going to get the kill onto Grimstroke. Skippy ultimate onto Darkness. Darkness is going to fall, and Shadow Shaman running for his life at the moment. And while all that happened, it seems like Baron Biceps got a kill in the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's looking to push the tier 2 tower as well.
Bottom lane,
is, like,
there's a catapult pushing as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the thing. When you get the Sven down in the win range in that last fight, you know, that's decent, because you need to get All or Nothing's cores down as well. You know, the net worth lead as well is not that big at the moment, because the Sven actually hasn't been farming. He's been rotating around the map looking for those team kills.
Yeah.
And he rather knows that he has to team fight in this game to win rather than farm. You know, it's quite easy for the Sven to kind of take that cleave, go into the jungle, do a lot of farming.
Yeah, I think when Sven started seeing that his team is owning everywhere, that's when he started farming a little bit more, as he does have 120 last hits now. But it seems like they do get the kill onto Templar Assassin is Skippy, so that's a pretty big pick off. That's the mid laner for the Jace Effect.
Yeah, it's these 2 wards here in the jungle. All or Nothing have very decent sight of what the enemy team are doing. They also know that maybe the cores on the side of Jace Effect want to do a lot of farming, so they have 2 decent observer wards there in the jungle, able to catch the TA out like they did in the last fight. They don't even actually need a smoke into it. They can just see her. You can get the barrier to charge to keep vision. And then
Shadow Shaman running into Grimstroke here. He might actually die. That is an Inkswell. That is a stun onto Shadow Shaman. Bara does charge Shadow Shaman. They're not going to give up on this kill quite yet. And that's a Doom onto Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker might fall here. Sven ults, jumps in, does get a huge cleave off, and that's a triple kill for Kyo. Very big ultimate there from Kyo. Is he gonna maybe try and go for the rampage? That is a shackle shot onto Kyo. Ultra kill, not quite yet. One more hit. Oh, he doesn't get the hit, and he's actually going to die for the greed. And maybe a little bit of an overextension there from Kyo, but that is a kill for... That's still a favorable trade for AoN, except if they lose Baron Biceps here. A little bit of a re-engage onto Doom, but AoN themselves are dropping pretty low at the moment. That's a roll onto Ramzed. They do get the kill onto Ramzed though. Tusk out of position now. And AoN just backing off at the moment. They should be happy with what they got this fight. Remedy running through all of them at the moment. And Baron Biceps re-engages, almost gets a double kill there, and it does get a double kill. And that's Billy Ihish dead as well. So it seems like little bit of an overextension there from the Jace Effect.
Yeah, and he's got the Baron Biceps. He just picked up the Lotus Orb as well, so he's just able to keep off some of the single target abilities off Jace Effect. So, for example, the Doom, you know, whether he puts it on himself or the team, he's not able to get the Doom. They did take down 2 cores there on the side of Jace Effect. The Tia and the Slark was out of the fight, even though Kia was down. And the Slark TP'd into the tier 2 tower there and still died again as well. Yeah, and they just
yeah,
stop they're trying to stop Jace Effect from snowballing as much as they can.
Yeah, at the moment it seems like AoN is just throwing as much at them as possible. They don't mind if they lose a couple of euros because they know they'll come out on top, and that's basically what's happening at the moment. They're throwing 5 euros in, losing 2, but they're killing 4 every time. And I think they'll take the trade every time. And it seems like Skippy does manage to catch Jace Effect here with that extremely effective ward you talked about. Jace Effect is going to fall here. Keo does use his ultimate. And that's just another kill for Templar, another death for Templar Assassin there. Maybe Templar Assassin, it seems like he's struggling to get any control, any grasp on this map with the Spirit Breaker. Anywhere he tries to farm, he's just getting caught, which is why he already died 8 times this game.
Yeah, the thing is, his team needs to come and actually de-ward that jungle. Those 2 observer wards from about like 4 minutes ago are still there in his jungle, and that's going to prevent him from stepping into that jungle to do some farming. Even on the likes of the Doom and the Slark also can't really step comfortably into the jungle. I mean, he has another ward on this high ground as well. And yeah, the side of Jace Effect aren't really controlling that vision on the game.
At this point, if you are the Jace Effect, do you use this time to maybe start talking about what you're doing wrong and what you might want to do differently the next game, or are you still just in it in this game? Like, don't...
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think as early as that. I think if they just maybe take a bit more of the map control, they get some wards up. I mean, the thing is, they're also not putting deep wards down themselves. So the thing is, All or Nothing's jungle's not warded up by them. I don't think Jace Effect also did any smoke ganks yet. So the thing is, either you can smoke to gank, or you can smoke to get offensive deep wards up as well. But also, like, look how back and passive they are. Jace Effect put their wards up here on the eye, and the thing is, they've got a tier 2 tower that sees further than. So they're also not. They're not like confidently warding, so the thing is they're not really getting vision further than that shrine.
Yeah, and I think it's not GG yet. They shouldn't be talking about the next game. No, they should be focusing on what they can still do in this game. And my opinion is they should try to maybe get a fight on their terms now. Even if they smoke and go around AoN or try and get a pick off onto a solo Euro, they should try and get something done where they aren't the ones getting run on, basically.
No, exactly. No, exactly. They need to be taking the team fights on their terms and not just, waiting for to be retrospective and waiting for All or Nothing to engage on them.
Yes,
which at the moment is what's happening. The tempo coming from AoN is very high at the moment.
Yeah, because at the moment for Jace Effect, it is all or nothing. Excuse the wordplay, but it is all or nothing for them. They don't have anything to lose. They can, whatever they do is the right move now. The only thing that's wrong is just trying to turtle against the lineup. You can't turtle against Keo. Does get a blink onto Shadow Shaman, and that's going to be beyond godlike for Baron Biceps. A snowball into 4 euros there from Alt a little bit out of position, and Templar Assassin as well. Templar Assassin trying to go in behind them. Is he going to get a kill with that? No, it's not. Triple kill from Baron Biceps. Insane performance here from his Pangolier. He's going to go for the Rampage. That's an ultra kill from Pangolier. And he does have an Inkswar on him as well. If they get this Templar Assassin kill as well, that's a Rampage onto Baron Biceps. Come on. Okay, and that's this is the slowest kill ever, but that's a Rampage Pangolier. First time I've ever seen that, I think. And extremely good performance there from...
picking up the Rampages often.
Yeah, he doesn't... And he's not even going that extreme damage build. He just got a Rampage somehow. He does have an Aghanim Scepter now. I don't know if that's actually meta or if it's just more for the memes. But it is a pretty... It's a cool Aghanim Scepter, nonetheless.
Yeah, I think he's done a decent amount of killing with that shield crash, and of course that's going to give him kind of the around 90-degree swashbuckle as well, which is pretty decent. He, of course, could have gone for something like a Monkey King bar, got himself, the double javelins, but he didn't.
And that's a double charge onto Slark and Doom. It does actually seem like it works pretty well, the Spirit Breaker Grimshow combo. And Now Jace Effect doesn't call GG quite yet. That's a Beyond Godlike from another triple kill from Baron Biceps there. Baron literally just tanking the entire enemy team, doesn't care at the moment. And it's working for him, so no reason to stop.
No, I mean, as you saw, picking up the triple kill there just because he had the Agnum Septus. I mean, it's not... And I mean, even a Lotus Orb is not something I've seen come out from a Pango as well. But it's fine, it's kind of a team item. I don't think he was expecting his supports to really pick it up, so that's alright.
I think the reason for the Lotus Orb is it's just an extremely good item this game. I mean, it's against Tusk, it's against Shadow Shaman, it's against Doom. It's just, you can't not buy a Lotus Orb on one of your heroes this game, I feel like. And also just the debuff, if you ever get silenced or slowed
and like
or
just
whatever.
the general stats are pretty good as well. I mean, he's getting himself 10 armor, 6 HP regen with 4 mana regen as well.
Yeah, that's also
well.
true, because the main, like the only damage Jace Effect has is physical damage. So getting armor this game is pretty strong.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, exactly. You're up against a tier, you're up against even a Doom and a Slark. They're doing a lot of damage. Gets him 10 armor, which is quite a lot for quite kind of, let's call it an inexpensive item, a Lotus Orb. I mean, it's not a 4K item at all, and the thing is, for what you actually get is pretty decent. I mean, it's 250 mana added to his pool with the 4 mana regen as well, and that 10 armor is pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
as
it's extremely
say,
good.
an inexpensive item goes, Lotus Orb is pretty good. Even if you didn't use the active on it.
Yeah, it
holding a
is.
Lotus
The
Orb
stats
actually
on
a
it
pretty
is
good
really
item.
insane. There's a lot of times I just wanted to get Lotus Orb for some armor and mana and HP regen.
And actually pretty cheap to use as well, 75 mana each time. And the cooldown's pretty low as well, 15-second cooldown as well. So it's actually all around a very solid intermediary item.
It seems to me like he's going a lot for the debuffs here, because Yule Scepter obviously debuffs as well, but I don't quite understand why he would go Yule Scepter this game. That's maybe actually what we should be talking about, because am I just a bit behind or something? Because I haven't seen that on Pangalia, I think, ever.
No. Yeah, usually like when you pick up a Yule's, it's to stop the likes of like an Axe Call, a Pudge Ultimate.
Yeah, also like some kind of silence, like a Storm Spirit that can zap on you and silence you or something like that. But there's nothing like that this game, so it'd be interesting to know. Maybe it's just like it does give you a lot of. It's also very good stats wise. A lot of mana regen, a lot of move speed.
Yeah, so
Sven does use his BKB and his ultimate does blink in 3 hits onto the Shadow Shaman. Should be enough. He does get doomed, but that's not going to stop him, as they do get the Doom kill there as well. That's a double kill for Kyo. Kyo getting some kills finally, and that's double kill for Baron Biceps as well. And that's a GG call. Well played there from AoN. They just, after the 15-minute mark, they just snowballed the entire game. Before that, it looked pretty even, but they just managed to snowball very well after that 15-minute mark.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think like they knew what the timing of the windows were, and so like instead of getting rushed by Jace Effect, they knew they had to take the fight to them. You saw the amount of rotations, even the fact that the Sven was rotating a lot was pretty good, even though, I mean, he had the most CS in the bottom lane as well, but I think he took the Doom down enough that he didn't have to worry about the Doom, and so he could afford to rotate mid, he could get the kills.
I'm taking a look here at the net worth graph, and after 10 minutes, the XP and experience, the experience and the net worth was basically even. So it's basically, as you said, it's just AoN knowing their windows and knowing when to aggress, and the Jace Effect maybe not quite expecting AoN's aggression, or not quite knowing their own window this game.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, so they had someone like a Shadow Shaman who could push towers, but I don't think they really had a chance or an opportunity to get.
Yeah, I think they should have
down.
Just been more aware of the fact that AoN is gonna full throttle after, let's say, 13-15 minutes, and try to play around that, maybe even get defensive wards up, or try and get force rotations with split pushing or something, just to stop AoN's relentless aggression, basically. Do you know if there's going to be a game 2?
Yeah, this is a best of 3. I was going to say, I think they probably needed to get the Slark more guaranteed kills, or at least get his stacks up.
Yeah.
I don't know how much agility he ended with, but I only saw him with 3 at one point.
I think the Slock, he started extremely well. Like, whatever Jace Effect takes out of this game now, like, I definitely don't know everything, but like, it shouldn't be the early game, in my opinion, because they did well early game. They did well enough, at least, early game. It should be what to do after that, and I think that's where AoN really shined.
Yeah, well. Yeah, they play in a best of 3 because it's a first division game. So they'll probably open their lobby up and go again.
Okay. So do we just I'm currently streaming, so do we just keep casting until then, or
Oh no, I mean you can you can keep your stream open, but you don't have to keep casting. You can just mute yourself for 5 minutes until the next lobby opens, and then
okay, cool. Thanks for the cast, dude. It's fun, dude. It's the first time I dual casted.
how do you do a lot of solo?
I've only solo casted, but I've only casted like max 15 games or so.
Okay.
What do you cast most?
I've been doing like a lot of the Elsa stuff and that stuff, so it depends. I mean, whatever's really open and available. VS or other stuff. I mean, I know VS stopped for a while now because they were having their LAN stuff, and that the leagues have been off for now.
But yeah, the only thing with casting is like dual casting. I don't know. I was like kind of, what do you call it? Not scared, but let's just say scared for lack of a better word to try it, because I don't know. You don't know what to expect really. Where if you're on your own, especially if you're still practicing, it's just you only have yourself to blame.
So like, what I like about a duo is that at least you can bounce ideas or things off of another person. So if you solo, it's literally you with no one else. You have to do all the play-by-plays. You have to do analysis. You have to keep also track of 10 players by yourself. Versus you can miss something by yourself and you know that your co-caster might pick it up. If that makes sense.
And like every now and then you can make a mistake, and if you're solo casting, it just looks stupid. But if it's a dual cast, the other caster laughs at you, and then it's over.
I think just
correct you or whatever.
I think just like a little bit of talking between another person and saying why you think it was a good idea for this guy to get a BKB. Or like, for example, now a Panga that has a freaking Lotus Orb with her Yules, I think is a little, say, unnormal for a Panga to do.
Yeah, and it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, and then you discuss it. Okay, well, why the hell do you think the Panga picked up a Yules and a Lotus Orb? Well, this is why, because the other team has XYZ. I don't know. Solo casting can be fun, but also I feel like it's so lonely if you have an hour game that you have to do by yourself.
Yeah. The main reason I solo cast is basically just because I'm still practicing. Like, I think when it's big, then I'll always prefer dual casting. As soon as I start getting to a point where I'm happy with how I cast, then I'll always dual.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Oh man, I was gonna say they caught me at an awkward time because I didn't even know this game was on, and I didn't know if I was going to cast at all, to be honest.
Me too. I just came back from France. I literally just came back, and then first thing I do is plug in my PC and cast the game.
Nice, dude. Lekker. I'm gonna probably be heading, so I'm gonna say thank you.
Cheers, dude.
And Chuck, thanks a lot
for the cast, man.
But I was gonna say, dude, definitely if you feel like you want to solo cast a bit more, you must. But also find yourself a good duo that you feel comfortable with bouncing a lot of ideas and stuff off. Because I promise you, solo is fun, but it can get boring. And also having another person to give you ideas and insight with as well is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just needs to work well. Like, you can't have two shoutcasters or 2 colorcasters or 2.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you must find yourself a friend that you know also likes Dota and that you gel with, and maybe build a bit of synergy with, and then you'll find that you might prefer doing the duo stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for showing me that setting for mute
Yeah.
stereo
So I was gonna say,
broadcasters. That's pretty
anytime. Yeah, I was
useful.
gonna say, yeah. Anytime you want to do the in-game stuff, you make sure that you do mute that broadcaster, and then open your team mic, and then you're free to chat in-game, or sorry, via Discord. And when people click on your channel when they watch in-game, they will hear you guys because that open team mic is going, obviously.
Yeah, and
Yeah, no.
it's a lot better mic quality than as well as in-game.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. Not a problem. I had Toothy and Shippy and those guys tell me the same thing. So that's my very 2 cents on the matter of that in game.
Okay.
Anyway,
Thanks,
no, dude, shot a lot, man.
Cheers, man.
Oh yeah, enjoy it, dude. Cheers. Cocaine, cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man. You guys did really fucking great.
Thanks, dude.
Like, I was this is my first casting, like quotation mark casting, because actually didn't know how to like say so many things in a game. And so when I watch you guys, I now like understand how to call.
Yeah, dude, I'm still figuring it out, to be honest. Like, the only trick is to shout. It doesn't feel like I'm like if you watch the stream, it doesn't sound like I'm shouting, but from my perspective, it feels like I'm shouting. But yeah, are you casting now, or are you?
I'll cast.
Okay. Yeah, you can just give like your perspective or whatever.
I just like I wanted to say something, but since you guys were just like talking back on it interrupt, so I was like, well, let me just see how they cast the game, and then I'll do it the next game.
Okay, sick, dude. Have you like how many games have you casted?
One.
Not any. Oh, 1. Okay.
I know the game pretty well. Like when we two will cast, you can probably talk about like the fighting, because I can't like say all the words so far. I can talk about like why this pick is good and why they counter, but when like the fighting actually
But
starts,
that's good though. Like, I used to be able to do that, but then I started to main Counter-Strike. Now I'm pretty clueless, dude. And I think it comes across. So maybe if you're a bit smarter than me with the current meta, that would be quite useful.
I think I'll like because there's always like casters who's like Toby when he cast the like the com like the fighting, and then guy next to him he like talks about the meta and shit.
Yeah, I did some like the shouting guy is the shoutcaster, and then you are the colorcaster. Like, you're the guy that gives insights and opinions, and I can have back and forth with and correct people when they're wrong.
Yeah. I'm just checking in when Jace Effect's gonna be ready.
Yeah.
I think they fucking threw the game, honestly.
You think they what?
I think Jace Effect threw the game.
No, AoN is really good.
No, they're a good team, but if you look at the lanes, like Slock versus Sven late game, Slock is gonna wreck Sven late game, but the Slock, he just...
Yeah, like I said in the start, but you know why that happened? It's because they, I didn't think about it in the moment. They were talking too much or something, and then they used up all their reserve time. So the last 3 picks were like scrambling to find the Euro picks. Like, it was... so I think that's why they picked pretty weird Euros.
But the Slock was a pretty good pick against the Sven.
Yeah, it was a decent pick, but like, it was like they scrambled it a little bit, and maybe even the lanes weren't so well thought out. I don't know. Or they could have swapped it a little bit.
I mean, there's like so many factors.
They could have made Slark rather solo lane against Finn when they saw it was a tri lane, because AoN used both supports to TP.
I said rotation as well.
So that would have been a solo lane Slark versus Finn, which is... But that lane did well. I think the lane, ironically, they did pretty well, even though they weren't supposed to necessarily. It's after that they didn't quite hit their timing.
You can pick like a hero to hero, but if you can't know how to play your hero, that's what it was. Right, to the same lobby.
They already started a new game. What the heck, man?
I can't see the lobby. Do you know the name?
Yeah, no, they started like they actually are. They are blind. They didn't see a new game start. Like we're not in the lobby.
Wait, what? Oh wait, we can't join then. Fuck.
Huh.
Dude, wait, we can't join them even if we go in the lobby, right? No, we can't.
Um.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, I think the best option is to spectate them, and
Fuck, man.
yeah, the only problem is like they won't be able to watch in game, but I'm streaming it on YouTube, so
10 seconds remaining.
it should be more or less the same.
Radiant team
Like they'll still be
back.
able to watch it.
We like what 11 minutes behind.
Dire team back.
No, I've got I think you. Let me quickly ask him.
Radiant team back. Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So I'm just quickly figuring out if it has a delay or not, because I know these like captain mode games, a lot of the time they don't have a delay.
Dire team back. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Shadow demon.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Assassin.
10 seconds remaining.
So have you found anything?
I'm watching the game. I'm Foxley. I'm joined here today by Cocaine and what? Wine or Dine? Cocaine and Wine.
Cocaine and wine.
And it seems like All or Nothing versus Jace Effect Game 2 is on the way, as both teams did just pick all 5 euros. It seems like pretty... Cocaine and Wine says it's pretty standard and trustworthy lineups from both teams. What do you think?
10 seconds
I mean,
remaining.
this Wind Ranger, like we saw last game, was able to create a lot of space for
Yeah.
all or for nothing.
Your heroes.
Oh, Arc Warden pick. That's really interesting. If he can play Arc Warden, dumps their whole lineup except for the.
Dude, if that's a good Arc Warden, honestly...
I mean,
I
this
think
is
it's-
Remedy. He is
yeah.
like a divine 3-player, dude.
Yeah, I think that's a very good pick. Like, I can't imagine. I think that's the best pick they could have gotten here, to be honest. Very good against Wind Ranger. Has a lot of magic damage harassment against Wind Ranger's evasion, and then also the bubble is also good against Wind Ranger. Good
I think
against
they
ranged.
I don't think they should put Jace Effect should put the Wind Ranger mid. If he
No.
goes mid, she'll actually get dumpstered. They need to put the Omni Knight because of his heavenly
You
grade.
need to put someone mid you can accept is gonna lose.
Who's not gonna tilt?
Yeah, and then you need to try stomp the other lanes. That's actually that pick is pretty OP, and that's
It's
an
a good,
axe
like-
pick as well on that burn biceps. So they're gonna have a lot of space for the Sven this game between the Arc Warden and the
Prepare
Axe.
for battle.
Could be worse. Oh, wait, no, it couldn't.
I mean, let's just. I really don't know what's this tiny pick. They could have picked more team fight or another range supports.
Yeah,
I
same.
really don't
I'm not
like
a
this
big
tiny.
fan of the tiny pick. They have too much stuff to deal with. Like, they need to deal with it like tanky heroes. They need to deal with like Axe and Sven and the shield that Sven gives everyone, and Shadow Demon Egg. Like, AoN is just super survivable at the moment. They needed to get probably... Do you think it's a mid? Or do you think it's a carry tiny or what? I think it's probably post 4.
Probably, but they also have a Nyx, which is kind of weird because Tiny is not really known for in this meta to like survive the lane, and they have a
Yeah.
Nyx and a Tiny. That's just such a weird pick. Rune contest. I think AoN can get.
I'm just quickly sharing the stream link. Okay, sorry. Top lane. Seems like AoN is not going to be able to get the rune. That's a toss from Skippy into 3 euros there. Skippy might die. Akio actually blocking his teammate a little bit. Skippy on 30 HP does manage to survive for now, but now Keo is the next target for the Radiant. Keo dropping pretty low. He's on 30 HP at the moment. That's 3 stacks from Ramzit, and that is a kill from Jace Effect. Jace Effect needs to TP mid immediately so he doesn't lose too much XP there. And that's still worth it, even with the XP loss here. Bottom lane, it seems like Axe is immediately trying to do some weird shit here in the jungle.
This guy.
Is going to immediately
off
cut
lane,
the yeah, he's going to immediately cut the wave. It seems like Skippy did have to do the walk of shame back to base there, and that is a kill from Nyx Assassin onto the Shadow Demon from Ramsey not having a lot of support there with how the game started.
If you look at how top lane is, like, how are they supposed to go up against this Fen and Shadow Demon? The Shadow Demon is just gonna keep on spamming his Shadow Poison. Like what is this?
Look at
game?
Baron Bicep in the bottom lane. He managed to stack 2 wave of
Oh
creeps
my
here, and
God.
is just spinning so much. He does have the regen to sustain all this creep damage that he's taking at the moment. And Remedy already getting a kill mid lane against Jace Effect. We knew like this is going to be a very good lane against Ranger, and it's showing to be true at the moment. Top lane, a lot of good harassment coming through from Team AoN onto the Jace Effect. The Jace Effect players dropping to below 50% HP there, and Baron Biceps still being a nuisance in the bottom lane, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to try and contest him at the moment. They're just basically letting him do what he is doing, letting Axe get farm, and sometimes that's all you can do, especially if the game's going as it is.
Honestly, who can they send to contest the slot? This Omni, he's going top lane, which is I don't really think is a better idea, but I guess no one can contest this Axe right now.
Yeah, no one can. You're right. Maybe if Shadow Demon, not Shadow Demon, maybe if Nyx Assassin, but it's not worth it. Like any rotation they do onto Axe would not be worth it for how much resources it will take. So they're just going to leave him. Top lane though, it seems like the Jace Effect does aggress onto Kyo here, but Kyo does manage to get out. If we look at the last hits here at the moment, it seems like Axe is leading by far. He does have 6 more last hits than the Slock, and Slock's getting literally free farm with... So that's basically the only negative of Axe is you give free farm to the carry in that lane, if the carry is able to tank creep waves.
I mean, I guess, but if we're gonna see how much farm this Axe has,
Yeah,
and
it's
we
worth
look at
it.
Jace Effect's lineup, they have Nyx, they have Slug, they have Tiny and Omni Knight. 4 heroes who like to really fight close range.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get like a 3-man call. So
Yeah, it is actually a very good Axe game as well. So getting that farm onto the Axe this game is huge, in my opinion. So that's a toss from Tiny onto Skippy. Skippy dropping pretty low. They might actually aggress here onto Skippy. Skippy actually shackles onto the Tiny, and this might be a turnaround kill. They do get the kill onto the Tiny there, and Skippy survives for the time being. Omni Knight does have his heal at the moment. That should do a little bit of damage onto Skippy, but it seems like Skippy's trying his best to juke. Very good egg there from Ramsey. He does manage to dodge the stun there. Ult does stun Skippy. Skippy's still alive somehow through all of this. His team is helping him quite a lot. The shield there from Sven and the egg from Ramsey doing a lot of work. And excuse me, obviously he didn't dodge the Sven stun, but still the egg there from Ramsey did do quite a lot of work.
I don't know how Skippy survived that.
Yeah, he somehow survived all of that. Axe in the bottom lane, literally tanking the tower 3 minutes into the game. He is doing that because he does know he has the salve, and he did quite a bit of damage onto Slock. And it's interesting to note here in the bottom lane, as we said, that he is actually giving Slock kind of free farm. Then Baron decided to go back to the bottom lane and start harassing the Slock and removing that potential for free farm from Slock. And now Axe is not creep skipping anymore. He's just playing normal Dota, which is pretty smart because now it just gives Slock a little bit of pressure. Still Slock doing pretty well. Does have 23 last hits, second most in the game so far. Top lane, it seems like
massive stack.
Yeah,
That's fair.
really big stack. They do manage to pull the creep wave to 2 camps there. Tiny does he tosses Skippy again. I don't think he's gonna survive this one, but maybe he does. He actually does survive this one for now, and that's a stun onto Nyx Assassin. Skippy still juking. Skippy seems like he is actually going to survive here. Kyo does have mana in 8 seconds to go on. Possibly go on Omni Knight with the 3 stacks on him, but that's not going to be worth it as Omni Knight does have the salve up. Top lane, Tiny has 5 stacks onto him. He might actually die here. That's almost 6 stacks now. Not quite enough. And everyone on Jace Effects and everyone on AoN dropping pretty low on either mana or HP there. So basically just both teams being a nuisance to each other. I would still say AoN would take that trade, but it's pretty even. Middle lane, Jace Effect being pretty aggressive against Remedy, but Remedy being even more aggressive back. Jace Effect does have a lot of stacks onto him, and if one more E hits him, it does die. Doesn't quite hit him yet, and Jace Effect does manage to run out of there eventually. Axe, he almost got his dunk off onto the career. I saw the animation starting, but didn't quite get it. That would have been pretty cool. Okay, middle lane, Remedy is definitely harassing Windranger pretty well, but credit where credit is due. Like, Jace Effect's doing extremely well for a not favored matchup. He only has 2 last hits less than Remedy at the moment, so that's pretty good.
That's insane, considering what this Arc Warden does to the Windranger.
Yeah.
You walk up the lane, Arc Warden will just cast Q on you, and you can't do anything.
Yeah, and it's not like it's some like shit player. If it was me playing Awkward, and I would understand, but it's Remedy and is doing really well. Top lane, Nyx Assassin has 2 stacks on him, 3 stacks. Keo does actually manage to bait out the Spike Carapace there, exactly what he wanted to do. And now Nyx Assassin doesn't have Carapace for 13 more seconds, and now they get the stun onto Nyx
Cancel
Assassin.
his shackle?
Yeah. Did something cancel it, or was it just a misclick?
I think he just mistakenly cancelled it. It could have resulted in a mistake, but I guess it's
Bottom
fine.
lane, Baron Biceps being extremely irritating versus the Slark. Slark does have his ultimate, but still you don't want to force your ultimate just because the axe is being irritating. 2 TPs here onto Baron Biceps. Baron Biceps doing a lot of work here, forcing so many rotations, and he does throw the banter there, seeing that they do use 2 rotations for him, which was totally overkill, especially they didn't even get the kill.
Laning
well
stage
played
is
there from
so
Axe.
bad for Jace Effect. Axe forced 2 rotations, but now they can take the top tower and the
Yeah, because there's a catapult now with Kia. They shouldn't have. You should never use your rotations that aggressively if you've got a catapult pushing your
at least they
lane.
got it done.
Yeah, Deny is very strong now, at least with not giving gold anymore. Seems like Nyx Assassin does want to go on Ramsey. Yeah, do they know that there's a Nyx Assassin in the perimeter, or why are they grouping? Baron Biceps does get a solo kill onto Slark there in the bottom lane. That was very
no,
unexpected.
that's so bad.
Alt chasing Skippy into the Roche pit at the moment. They definitely want to get a kill here. They seem like they do want to go on Ramsey. But that's a double kill, a double stun from Nyx Assassin. And
They just don't have any. Like they have 1 stun. They don't have enough damage for this, I think.
Spike Carapace. Yeah, it seems like they have some stuns and disables and whatnot, but it's not enough to actually do anything. And you can see, like, Omni Knight just popping, because AoN does actually have damage with the lineup they picked. And that's a stun onto Nyx Assassin, level 3 stun. That's going to be enough to kill him. Ult there from Keo. Keo running away as Jace Effect does use ultimate onto the Sven there. The power shot does, unfortunately for Jace Effect, miss there, and that's very well played there from AoN. They didn't overextend. They almost overextended, but they didn't. And bottom lane, Slark, even with that death he got, it's not that bad. He's still doing the best in his team. And I said that this previous game, and I'm going to say it now. If you look at the net worth, it's not that bad for Jace Effect. They just need to keep a cool mind, and they need to realize it's not that bad. They haven't even lost more than 1 tower yet. It's not that bad, but they just need to start making plays together now, and they need to have a good mid game.
Oh, he almost died to spins.
Slark almost
Okay.
dying to Axe there. That was very close.
Disconnect. Interesting. I think Jace Effect is not realizing that if this Slark doesn't get any farm, this Sven will completely run them over. I'm surprised they're not rotating anything to like harass this Axe or anything, because this Slark he's really struggling this lane against the Axe. I don't know if Jace Effects know this or what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know either exactly, like what. Yeah, it's difficult because you need that farm on at least a couple of your core heroes that can get something done, and the only heroes that can get something done this game is Wind Ranger and Slark. So those heroes need to be basically relying on them to, at least one of them, to spiral out of control, and that's not what's happening at the moment. Sure, they are getting by and they are doing decent, but they're not spiraling really. But there's still hope. I mean, Wind is top net worth, and that might be enough to push him over the edge, get some more kills. Slark, power thread, strength. Axe does go on Slark in the bottom lane, at least harasses him for now. Nyx Assassin does die
Just so
to Remedy.
tanky.
Axe does get altered by Jace Effects. That's going to be a lot of spins there if they stand close to him. Does get a call onto the Slark. Slark dropping pretty low. Axe might get his call onto... He spins so much. He spent like 10 times in the span of a second and somehow gets the kill on the Slark. I think it's because of the Wind Ranger focus fire.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Not the best not the best combo, but they do get the kill onto Axe, and I wouldn't say that's worth it because sure, Axe is a nuisance this game, but he's not the carry. He's just doing exactly what he's supposed to. He's being a distraction. Meanwhile, Kyo is farming in the top lane. That's so much space created from Axe. If Slog survived there, sure, that would have been worth it. But with Slog dying, not at all.
I'm not so sure about this drum purchase on the Slog, because right now you don't want to fight as a Slog with your team because you're so behind. I'd rather get like a Yasha or farming item.
The logic is probably like you can't farm. Like you're gonna lose if you farm. You need to somehow win fights. Now Remedy dropping pretty low in the middle lane. He's 30% HP. Does manage to get the shield off in time. It's maybe gonna be enough just to save him. It is enough, and they do get the kill onto Tiny as well. The power shot misses onto the Awkward, and that's very unfortunate there from the Jace Effects. They would do at least get the kill onto the Shadow Shaman, and it's a little bit of a feel good. Oh, and did you see what just happened? Spike Carapace killed Awkward right there. Spike Carapace and ran into the spread. Well played there from Nexus Assassin, getting that kill onto the Awkward, and that's a very big kill, and they actually do get 2 kills. Unfortunately, they don't have a catapult at the moment, so they're not going to be, or Wind Ranger also, they're not going to be able to push this tower. Wind Ranger being pretty aggressive onto the Shadow Demon. Yeah, Shadow Demon does have always spells active, so it shouldn't be enough to kill him, but still a little bit of harassment going through. A Spike Carapace from Nexus Assassin, that's going to be enough for them to get close. He does get the egg off in time, but it is going to get stunned. Is Shadow Demon going to die here? Somehow he's still alive. He does die eventually, but that's 2 rotations now from AoN in the middle lane, and it seems like Jace Effect actually overextending a little bit here. Wind Ranger dropping pretty low. There's a shackle onto the Nexus Assassin, and somehow Jace Effect managed to survive that whole ordeal. Very nice toss there from Tiny to save his Nexus Assassin, and yeah, they barely didn't overextend, but that's good from Jace Effect.
But that was all happening. If you didn't notice, the Axe was just taking the tier 1s. He was like perfectly happy with trading that.
Oh yeah, okay, well, never mind. That's not worth it.
That was definitely not worth it. Like,
yeah, because they didn't even get the mid-tier 1
no.
either. And it seems like AoN is going to get the mid-tier 1 now. It seems to me
this
like
Axe is just so powerful.
It seems to me like with Jace Effects, without that Wind Ranger ult, they don't have any power push or damage really. I mean tower push. They couldn't even push the tower after getting those 2 kills, and with the Axe pushing the bottom lane, it's just like they don't hit towers at all. The only thing they have to hit towers is a catapult. Tiny. Okay, this is a 4-man smoke. They are going to try and go on the Shadow Demon. Maybe Axe does seem quite a little bit of them. Yeah, it was instantly popped, but maybe if they get this Axe kill, it would be worth it for them. Axe does get his core off in time. That's a nice egg there from Shadow Demon, making some space. Somehow the stun misses onto Axe, and that's a shackle onto Nexus Assassin, but it seems like Skippy is a little bit out of position here as he does die. Shadow Demon also getting tossed in. That's a double kill from Nexus Assassin. Not who you want the double kill on, but that's still good for Jace Effects. If Sven doesn't, they need to TP top. It seems like if AoN can keep getting all this tower damage, they'll take it. It seems like, because they are leading in net worth, they're getting towers, and I'll happily lose a fight for what they are gaining from it at the moment. And Sven being quite aggressive onto Slok here as well. Sven's ultimate did just expire, and Tiny and Ranger TPing in. Axe score does go onto 3. It's going to be enough to save Sven. Maybe Sven does have his phase boost in 3 seconds. He's going to be able to escape. Very nice call there from Axe, and maybe should have used the egg onto Sven as well. I mean, rather.
Just gonna mention that I think that was a misplay. I think that was more of a panic play.
Yeah, very well played there from Axe though, getting what was that, a 2 or 3 euro call there, almost making his Sven escape, and didn't work out, but like sometimes those plays do work out, and it was pretty big.
There's always a silver lining for Jace Effect, but if you think about the bigger picture, Jace Effect is committing 4 heroes to stop 1 rotation. The Axe, the Sven farms, and the Arc Warden farms. You stop the Arc Warden, the Axe or the Sven.
And they're not even getting towers. That's the saddest part. They're getting 2 kills with an enemy hero on a different side of the map, and still it's not enough for them to get a tower. They do, and their catapult already died in the middle lane, so they still can't push the middle tower. Somehow they're
think
gonna
they
have
need
to
to
figure
push-
out
I
this
think they need to
tower
push mid
thing.
with the strum.
Yeah, they need to somehow push something. Just get some map control at the moment, because at the moment AoN has all of it. There's ultimate. Ooh, the egg combo
Oh,
not working out too nicely there. The Jace Effect does get a kill onto Shadow Demon. And it seems like Skippy's a little bit out of position here. He is going to create space as he does run into the enemy team, and that's going to be enough for Axe to safely escape.
Radiant's top tower is under
Sven
attack.
pushing bottom lane at the moment. Fortunately for Jace Effect, it's not that detrimental at the moment.
I mean, I think it was really unnecessary for Slog to come in, because right now he's not farming. He's just roaming
Yeah,
around.
that
I
is
think
true. He only has 87 last hits at the moment. Compare that to even the Axe with 104, Sven with 107. I mean, everyone on AoN is extremely farmed at the moment.
except for the Shadow Demon. He was like level 4 on minute 14. I felt so sad for him.
But look at his farm now. Like, it's not bad for support at all. They're doing quite
I
well.
mean, a nice earn.
Yeah.
But really, he's not going to be carrying the game.
Definitely not. Tiny does have his blink dagger now, so that should be pretty big for. Shouldn't be, but it could be pretty big for Jace Effect if they get some nice. If, for instance, they can toss Orc Warden into the fight, Axe into the fight. I mean, that's a free kill every time. But it's easier said than done, and AoN does know how to position themselves.
Dire's middle tower.
I mean, right now, if we're looking at the mid game, if Jace Effect doesn't do anything about like countering this Archon and Sven, they're gonna lose all that outer tier towers, and they're not gonna have any vision into their jungle. And then Roche, and then
Yeah, I 100% agree. At the moment, it seems like AoN is leading even further than they did the previous game. I mean, they already have a 6k lead 18 minutes into the game, and it seems like Baron Biceps is going to go on to Omni Knight here as well. And they're not going to overcommit there, but it's just AoN has all the map control. They're making all the decisions at the moment. And again, it seems like Jace Effect's mid game is what's lacking at the moment. Wind Ranger trying to catch up with farm as much as he can. He's farming the bottom lane, maybe gonna pick up the DD rune, and no, it doesn't even see the DD rune.
And we saw this in the last game where Jace Effect, they had a decent start. The Slug had a really good start, but their mid game just falls off insanely. It's like they don't know really how to deal with AoE.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly get the link for my YouTube just so I can advertise
Actually,
it
a
in
sellout.
I am sellout.
They're engaging on them right now. God Strength Sven, Double Storm Hammer.
Okay, it
GA
seems like
coming
AoN
out.
does get a jump there onto the Jace Effect. Jace Effect's actually gonna get Shadow Demon there. This might be a good fight here for Jace Effect. So they do get 2 kills against AoN. Kyo is retreating at the moment. He does re-engage, and Billy he's
Oh,
dropping
nice
pretty low at the
Imperial.
moment. And very well played there from the Jace Effect, the team in general, not just the player. And Tiny does seem like the repel is going to be enough to make him survive here. Axe desperately wants to call. He does call, and he does get a 2-man call here. This is going to be enough to kill the next assassin. He does run after that, but Slog, pretty good Euro against Axe. This is going to be a kill against the Axe, and very well played there from the Jace Effect. Somehow managing to win a fight there as I go AFK. Very well played from the Jace Effect, and Orc Warden at least managing to TP out, but I think AoN not quite expecting the Jace Effect to be so strong. Maybe playing a little bit over aggressive there, maybe being a little cocky there, and it does not pay off for them. The egg is a little bit late onto Tiny, as Tiny does get the bounce rune. Tiny will stun Shadow Demon. Shadow
But Sven
Demon
is
dropping
coming
pretty
if
low.
you can slow him enough.
Sven does not have a blink dagger yet, so I don't think they'll be able to catch him. Yeah.
Needs to use his Midas. What? Hello? What MMR is this? Doesn't mean he's Midas, dude. What the hell? I think Jace Effect.
Okay.
You good, dude? Are you typed out?
Sorry, I'm just quickly sorting some stream stuff out. You can maybe take over for a little bit. It's fine. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. Okay. Top lane. It seems like AoN does have control over the Jace Effect's jungle here, and they do manage to de-ward the Jace Effect as well. Shadow Demon is an extremely good hero for de-warding there on the high ground. And okay, this is exactly what the Jace Effect should be doing. They are taking the fights now. They are smoking, and it seems like they are going to wrap around. AoN does not seem to expect this, as they do have two supports out of position here. Maybe this could be a good fight here for the Jace Effect, and it seems like they are wrapping around at the moment. Keo is trying to bait here for his team, but if the Jace Effect goes around the team, this is going to be a Shadow Demon pick-off. This might be enough for now. Maybe they get back. Maybe they try to aggress a little bit more. It seems like AoN is going to get back for now. That's a toss into the enemy team there. Axe dropping pretty low. Keo does use his ultimate. Skippy, Shackle onto Tiny. Omni Knight does use Guardian Angel. Very tanky for now. Keo is altered by Wind Ranger, and it seems like the Jace Effect is going to dive here. Oh, they're going to get the Keo kill. They do get the Keo kill, and they might even get the Axe kill as well. They do get the Axe kill. Very nice smoke gank play there from the Jace Effect, and it seems like it does pay off. And Remedy is trying his best to get a kill, and he does get the double kill, but it's not worth it, as they do get the kill onto Remedy as well. And Shadow Demon maybe a little bit out of position here, and it does get stunned, and it's yeah, that's a team wipe from Jace Effect. Well played. That smoke gank is exactly what they needed to do, and now it's only a 3k net worth for all or nothing. Very, very good turnaround here from the Jace Effect. Maybe a little bit of I don't even think that's a mistake from AoN. That was just really well played from Jace Effect. That was extremely good timing to smoke gank there, realizing they are strong enough to actually win a fight. And obviously they're strong enough. Now they almost have double the kills AoN has. I'd go as far as to say AoN is on the back foot now, or at least it's 50-50.
I don't know how.
I think what happened is they managed to catch the two supports first, because Shadow Demon and Shaman was baiting the Sven, but then because they went around, it meant that actually Sven was baiting them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think the AoN made the mistake
Iron
of
Biceps is spotted here by Nyx Assassin. They might actually get the kill here, as Jace Effect is also close on his Wind Ranger. Skippy does get a Hex onto Nyx Assassin. Maybe Nyx Assassin overextending here, as that is a 4-man rotation onto the Nyx Assassin here, and yeah, he's just going to have to accept that he did overextend here. Wind Ranger not going to help him there. Does make sense. That's a double damage onto the Tiny. This is a pos for Tiny, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's definitely +4.
So is the Nyx Assassin pos 3?
I think so, since he bought the vessel.
Oh no,
it's
no,
not
no,
really,
it's a pos 3. No, it's a pos 3 Tiny. Okay.
I thought the Omni was.
Yeah,
Oh,
I also thought so.
what?
It seems not.
It looks like AoN is going for all around
Yeah.
push. I don't
Yeah.
think this is a really wise idea.
Yeah, AoN is that team that will push, like they always pressure. They'll push even without Aegis, even without a pick off. They always test the waters at the very least, and this is something you'll very commonly see from AoN. And sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work quite so well. Axe was on their high ground, and he does manage to TP out, and that's a tier 3 from AoN. So I mean, this time around it did work out for AoN.
You'll probably just take the top shrine and just take Roche.
Yeah,
Radiant's top shrine is
actually very
Didn't
well played
notice-
there from AoN.
Very nice. Notice how low the high ground tower was. It was probably due to like the Arc 1 split pushing.
Yeah, the Arc Warden split push is insane, because he does have that TP scroll and a Boots of Travel. BKB used by Sven, forced out by Sven. That's going to be good for Jace Effect there, and not so good for Sven.
If you look at Slark, he's levels Sven, who had like free farm. He's like 2 levels below him. Like, what?
Yeah, I think that's because of all the fights Slark has been taking. Sven has only been in 4 kills at the moment. He's 1-4-3, and but it is weird because Sven does have Hand of Midas as well, so it's actually really weird.
I think the thing about AoN is that they're not really taking like fights and giving.
That's a call
kill.
onto Nyx Assassin, and that's going to be 3 euros onto Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin being a little bit out of position. Maybe it will bait his team a little bit. No, they do get the kill. Yeah, you were saying like they're not taking enough fights at the moment.
No, not that. Which is exactly what AoN farm any of the kills. Like he has 1 kill.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, maybe you need Sven to try and participate a little bit more in the fights. Maybe that is what they're trying to do. It's just not working so well. But this is going to be a tier 2 tower mid for AoN. Not going to lose anything for it. It seems like...
middle tower has
It seems at the moment like the Jace Effect is just going for a turtle strategy where every now and then they attack. Like they'll maybe contest Roche, they'll maybe get a smoke gank here and there, they'll push the lanes out. But they are happy letting that tier 2 tower fall, knowing they can't take that fight head on. AoN does
What?
finally get that top shrine.
But then Roche. Jace Effect, they look like they're gonna actually take the.
Middle lane, Jace Effect does get a shackle shot onto Axe. Axe is egged at the moment. That's enough to save him as he does blink out. Kyo does use his ultimate and his BKB. They better use this. And that's Guardian Angel from Omni Knight. Very big counter onto the Sven. They do get the kill onto Shadow Demon. And Skippy dropping pretty low as well. Skippy will fall. That's 2 kills for Jace Effect. Meanwhile for AoN, they do get the next assassin kill. Sven an extremely tanky hero, but is he tanky enough as he does man up onto the Slog. Slog does have his ultimate active and it's going to maybe be enough to get the Sven. Both of them decide to get back and it seems like a whole lot of not so much happened right there. Everyone fought everyone, but only 3 euros died. Axe does get a call onto Wind Ranger. Will this be enough to kill him? He does have his W onto the Wind Ranger as well. He does try to ultimate, but it's not going to be enough damage.
Oh, he's too
Meanwhile,
greedy.
Axe is actually too greedy here, as it seems like
Oh,
Slog
no.
does get the kill onto the Axe, and what was a little bit of a favorable trade is now a very bad fight for AoN. I mean, not a favorable trade. You know what I mean? It was a little bit of a favorable trade for the Jace Effect. No, it
Jace
was
Effect.
a lot of a favorable trade.
If you look at every team fight that these 2 teams have partaken in, first one who gets killed is Shadow Demon or Shadow Shaman. Like this Wind Ranger is just like feeding off of those 2 supports. And who on take out this support Omni Knight or the next? It's so difficult.
Yeah, exactly. The Omni Knight pick here. Early game it wasn't so strong because, as we said, they didn't have that damage early game. But now that they're starting to get damage, the Guardian Angel and the Repel and the heal was really paying off. Kyo maybe a little bit out of position here. They might actually catch Kyo. Kyo does use his BKB, but it's not going to be enough. He has to get back. Kyo running away. And Skippy does sacrifice his life for his core. And that's 2 more kills for Jace Effect. The comeback is still on as they keep winning fight after fight.
are under attack.
This is definitely,
Fortunately-
I would say that Jace Effect is in control of the game right now.
Yeah,
AoN
because
is,
of
like,
Arc
so afraid.
Warden.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry, you said they are in control.
I
Because
said,
Arc Warden
Jace
just got
Effect are in control.
Arc Warden just got
Correct.
top
Got the
racks.
top, yeah.
Dire's
So maybe
middle tower is under attack.
No,
maybe
Arc
that's
Warden
even
is
worth it
what
for
it's gonna
AoN. It
do.
seems like Remedy's double is gonna go on Omni Knight, almost kills him actually, and is gonna start pushing the racks again. So this is just something that's always in the back of mind of Jace Effect at the moment, is that Arc Warden pushing their lane in. And Jace Effect playing extremely aggressive. They are in the enemy jungle right now. There is a stun onto the Shadow Demon that is going to be enough to kill him. Is AoN going to try and turn this fight? Skippy does get the Hex onto Slog, but he does debuff it, and that's a double kill for Slog. Yeah. Okay, now I'd say they are in control because they have the top lane pushed out as well.
Kyo right now, he's like playing so afraid, and he has to, because wherever he goes on, he doesn't do enough damage firstly, and he's not tanky enough to endure the slot.
Yeah, you can
So
just
he
see
needs
like
to
that
spawn.
slog how good of a pick it is against the Sven, because the Sven has to get a perfect stun off onto the slog where he doesn't use his Dark Pact, and then even with that, if Slog just has enough time to man fight him, you will always win that fight, because Slog is just so good against tanky heroes.
Dire's
And I mean,
bottom
it's
tower is under
just
attack.
it just shows how good of a pick the Slog actually is against this Sven if the rest of your team is also playing decently.
I don't think Skippy wants a TV here.
Yeah, Skippy, maybe a little bit out of position, maybe a little bit of a bait here, as he does get egged at least by the Shadow Demon, and he does survive, but yeah, it wasn't necessarily needed.
Space created. Nice.
Yeah, that is some space created as the catapult does attack the melee barracks, which isn't actually going to do anything, as the melee barracks will just regenerate that back. But yeah, this Arc Warden at the moment is kind of all that's keeping AoN in this game, and I wouldn't want anyone else than Remedy on the Arc Warden, as he is used to these high pressure situations. Remedy though is going to fall now, and that's going to be a very big kill for the Jace Effect if he is able to escape. They do get the dust onto the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger BKB expires in 3 seconds. He's TPing, but he's gonna get stunned maybe. No, he does barely manage to TP out. Easy breezy, some banter coming through.
If I was Remedy now, I'll probably say GG, because like you're doing everything to try to keep your team in the game, and Rendering just does that
Yeah.
to you. Like,
Yeah, he kills
be
you
pretty-
in the furthest
Your own
camp in your
jungle.
own jungle. That's a call onto Tiny at the moment. Tiny actually tosses Axe into the fray, and it seems like Keo dropping pretty low. Again, you can see Keo just not being as effective this game as he maybe would have liked to, and AoN forcing to get back even after they are the ones who initiated. It seems like Skippy is a little bit out of position here, as he's dropping pretty low on mana and HP, and it should be enough to kill him with that urn, and they do get the kill with the Spirit Vessel eventually.
I think Skippy and Ramsey, like they need to watch their position, because they're just getting picked off. Because
Yeah,
they
it's-
seem so lost in the team.
every time that happens, and it is like something that it seems like it's supports can look so bad when your team is losing because like the Axe blinked in and he went to go help the Axe, and then the Axe managed to escape, and then the support died because he saved the Axe. But yeah, I still agree, like they are overextending a little bit in these fights, and it's not kills. Even though it's only like 200 or so gold, it's not kills you want to give them.
It's a very interesting BKB purchase from the Axe. I would have thought he'd gone for Crimson earlier, or a Radiance, just to help your team.
Yeah, and it
like win
seems
the team
like
fight.
it seems like AoN is focusing the BKBs quite a bit. Obviously on Sven it's pretty standard, but I mean Axe went one as well, and it seems like they're relying a lot on this Arc Warden to be like pure damage and lockdown pretty much with his Scythe of Ice, because he's not going defensive items at all except for his Shadow Blade.
The one of the most I hate about playing support against Arc Wardens, that he can send his ults and they will kill you so quickly.
Yeah, especially now with the Scythe of Ice. Like, there's not really something you can do if you are Omni Knight, to be honest. A support Omni Knight or a support... Even the Tiny would struggle, and he's not a support.
As soon as he gets the Bloodthorn, I think he's gonna kill any of the supports except for...
Yeah, he might,
maybe
honestly, he
Tiny
might
or
even kill the Wind Ranger. If he manages to Hex Wind before he Wind runs, that's a kill. If he has Bloodthorn.
Radiant's
I think he might just go for Nullifier, Bloodthorn. That way he can be assured to kill.
Yeah, Nullifier and then an Orchid, you mean?
Bloodthorn.
Yeah, but what do you think is gonna go? Is gonna finish the Bloodthorn or finish the Nullifier first?
I don't know. He's obviously gonna finish the Orchid, but...
Okay, it seems like Shadow Demon maybe a little bit out of position middle lane. Axe does get a one-man core onto the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger just falling back. Skippy falling. That's a Guardian Angel. And yeah, Axe trying his best to run away. Yeah, he is dropping pretty low on HP and mana. Is it going to be able to get something done here? No, that's a double kill from Slark. Slark just being extremely tanking, extremely pesky here, and Tiny dropping pretty low, but not low enough. Sven really wanting to hit someone. He just wants to hit someone so badly. He had his ult active for so long there, but couldn't quite get the damage out in time. Wind Ranger actually re-engaging onto Sven here. Doesn't have any fear in him, and that's at least a double kill on Remedy. Remedy does do a lot of damage this game, and that's a mirror image from Remedy. No, it's actually the real Remedy, never mind.
Wait, why is he still here? I thought he TP'd out or something. Why is he still here? What?
Okay, so very well played there from Jace Effect, but at least well done from Remedy to get 2 kills there in the back line, making the push a little bit harder for Jace Effect. AoN does have 2 buybacks. Do you think they'll use one here? Okay, they are going to use one, definitely. Arc Warden does have his Scythe of Ice active. He does have his Mirror Image active. This should be enough to at least defend the racks for now. Slark does fall back as he sees that Arc Warden did buyback. That's a very big buyback from Debate out of AoN there.
This is such a
Sorry, your mic broke up. It's such a...
Oh, sorry. It's such a good game for Slark because like no one can control him. He will just BKB or Doc.
Yeah.
I mean ults.
The only one that can maybe do like something against him is the Arc Warden, but that's also going to fade now as Slark is just getting so much armor from all the agility he's been getting. The damage from Arc Warden is just going to be nullified eventually. So yeah, I agree. It's an exceptional game for Slark. It's just so good against Axe and Sven. Maybe AoN needed to get another not a tanky carry like Ursa or I don't know, actually Phantom Assassin even.
I'm not so sure. There's like Slark is just such a good pick this meta. Like every hero like Ember, Sven,
Mid lane,
Warrior.
Wind Ranger does go onto Skippy. Skippy does get the shackle shot onto the Wind Ranger, but Skippy is going to get egged in time. Doesn't quite fall yet. Is he going to be able to escape here? He does have the Spirit Vessel on him. Sven does turn onto Slark, and Slark darkbacks just in time. They do not even get the kill onto the Slark there, and that was so close. At least Skippy does survive. Yeah, if Arc was there, would have been a kill. That Scythe of Ice on Arc is so necessary for them to win any fights. They don't have any like reliable lockdown.
I mean, AoN is focusing so much on the Slark, but this Wind Ranger is actually 16-1. Like,
yeah, and I would even say like maybe just go on the supports because this Omni Knight is doing so much work. His Guardian Angel is so strong.
Your Sven's damage.
Yeah, he's doing so much work, and then just the Nyx Assassin just being a piss. But if you have a look at the map, the only reason AoN is still in this game is look at how pushed out all the waves are. They're doing a really good job pushing out these waves and trying to delay this game as much as possible. I don't even know if they have the late game, but they are trying to get there and just delaying, pushing and hoping they could eventually get a gap where somehow Jace Effect takes a bad fight, and that would be basically end of the game. Or at least 5 buybacks.
I mean, he framed this superbly. Like, he knows that they're not going to win the fight, so why don't I just send my ult into split push?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's honestly what...
And it's just, look at the net worths as well. Somehow he has like 3.5k more net worth than the Slark here at the moment. And that's pretty impressive.
I think AoN be like a... because he's basically doing everything for their team to keep them in the game.
Okay, smoke gank here from AoN. They are quite disappointed as there's no Euros here in the bottom jungle, and they will finally see that basically both teams had the same idea, just on opposite sides of the map. Maybe AoN push here. Might sound stupid, but I think they can push faster, and then they force rotations. Yeah, it does have an image. It has another image up now, but it doesn't have the Boots of Travel active. Oh no, it does have the Boots of Travel. Okay, middle lane, it seems like Jace Effect wants to be very aggressive here. That's a stun onto Billy Aihish. Will it be enough to kill him now? Doesn't seem like it. Axe call onto the Wind Ranger. Billy Aihish dropping really low. He does have the Aegis. He's not even going to use his ultimate yet. He still has his ultimate after the Aegis. But maybe this is still a good fight for AoN as they do actually manage to get the Wind Ranger there. That's a very big kill. And that's a Hex onto the Slock as well. And a Silence. That's 2 kills onto AoN. And somehow they managed to get that fight. Even with basically Jace Effects having everything in their favor. They get the fight. Maybe it's their turn to be a little bit over aggressive here and a little bit over cocky as that's 2 kills for AoN, 2 very big kills for AoN, and they are definitely gonna try to do something here, force a buyback or something. They have so much split pushing and so much pushing potential. They're at least gonna try and get one.
Positioning from both the Slog and the Wind. The Slog was like in the middle of their tier 4s, and this Wind Ranger is like running off somewhere else. They're just getting so easy.
Yeah, Slog overselling his Aegis there, thinking it actually makes his hero immortal, but doesn't quite do that. Skippy middle lane does use the snakes onto the tower. The egg is going to be good enough to save him. And this is going to at least be a mid tower for AoN, even with the Wind Ranger buyback. And it seems like AoN wants to get back for now. They are happy with taking a buyback and a tower. And as long as they get something good out of it, they're happy. Not going to overextend. They're not going to make the same mistake. And
for AoN to win this game, you just gotta play the time. You just gotta let Argwin keep on chipping away at the racks, at the tower, and then eventually at the tier 4s.
Yeah, and also it sounds dumb because you shouldn't rely on enemies to make a mistake, but you do kind of also wait for them to make a mistake, wait for them to sometimes be out of position or to get caught off by your smoke gang or there where they oversell their own Aegis. You need to basically hope for the best, and that's what they're doing. And I mean, it got them to a 4k net worth lead. Now as we look at the net worth shift there, it was I think it was a 6k shift with that fight. Tiny does actually fall.
He got complete. He killed. Wait, what? Yeah, he killed Tiny.
Tiny does ping out that there is a ward in the jungle, but it's a little bit late now as he already died.
Jace Effect, he's wrapping around.
Jace Effect, yeah, pretty big back wrap round. And he does actually get called by the Axe. Very good reaction time there from Axe. It's not going to be enough though. Axe does aggress onto the next assassin. They will get the return kill onto the next assassin at the very least, but Jace Effect escapes, and that's what's the most important. Still not worth it. AoN will take that, as that is 2 euros down now on the side of Jace Effects, and that's opens a window for AoN to maybe force another buyback here.
I really didn't think the next needed that. Like Jace's Effect had it really under control. He has enough damage to.
Yeah, that's a buyback from Nyx Assassin here. AoN immediately seems like they want to get back. That's 2 buybacks. AoN definitely going to get back now if they can. Baron Biceps trying his best to run out. He does have his BKB active. He's going to TP with the BKB. Any hero you can get out for AoN at the moment, you'll take. And they do lose the Shadow Demon, but the rest of the heroes do manage to escape. So well played there from AoN, forcing 2 buybacks. Now, Jace Effects only has 2 buybacks in the entire team.
I don't know. I think
they do have the buyback on Slock at the very least, so that's at least a good buyback to have.
I mean,
Sorry, you're breaking up again.
oh, sorry. I'm just saying there's a double damage in the river.
Oh yeah, that would be
If
big.
This effect's gonna.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll spot it, but yeah, that would be
But
pretty big.
Remedy doing what he does there is just ratting
Yeah.
the hell out.
Again ratting, and you'll see 10 seconds, then he has his mirror image again, so it's just going to keep doing that, and the cooldown is really not that long. Slog forced to run into the bubble as Jace Effect does, Remedy does put down that bubble. Unfortunately for Jace Effect, Wind Ranger does have to TP into the bottom lane, and that's going to be pretty disappointing for Jace Effect as they do use 2 buybacks to basically do nothing here. And Wind Ranger did use his Wind Run to immediately kill this Arc Warden mirror image, and it's going to be enough. But they just have to commit so much to stop the split pushing from Arc Warden, and he already has another image in 6 seconds. It's just ridiculous.
I think I think Jace Effect, if they don't do something like dramatic, or like to do Roche or just straight push, like this Remedy is just gonna completely wreck the whole base. Because
agreed. That's an axe go onto the Nyx Assassin. That's a buyback from Nyx Assassin, if I'm not mistaken. So
double damage Sven, they can definitely rack
DD
this.
Sven with ultimate active and BKB, they're definitely gonna go high ground with this. Let's see if Jace Effect can do anything to contest this. Sven literally breaking the backdoor at the moment. Doesn't even want creeps.
But look at the creep wave. It's so deep, but
the creep wave's pretty far, but the bottom way, no, the bottom one's coming in now, so it's gonna be enough. Sven's ultimate and double damage does wear off, but I think they're still gonna go for this as they do have that Nyx Assassin kill to work with. A lot of trees being thrown by Tiny, and it seems like AoN is not playing as aggressively anymore, but they're still looking towards the high ground as they do have that mirror image to push the tier 3 tower. They do get it.
How do you stop this?
They literally can't do anything about it. And look, if someone tries to stop it, that's what happens to them. Slark almost dies, and that's the tankiest hero they have. Slark at least getting a lot of stacks onto this mirror image. And yeah, Slark is even good against Arc Warden for getting stacks onto a mirror image.
This doesn't. I thought Jace Effect was in the control of the game, but Remedy has pulled it back for his team.
Yeah, Remedy just pushing everything everywhere. Like, you can't do anything if you're Jace Effect. You just have to basically either have 5 heroes alive or accept you're going to lose a Rax at the moment. And they don't have 5 heroes alive. Remedy, Illusion playing very aggressively. That's a one-man call from Axe in the backline. Jace Effect's trying to get the Arc Warden kill, and that's going to actually get him killed as he does get shackled and stunned by Sven, and that's a kill onto the Wind Ranger, and that should be GG as Wind Ranger does not have buyback here, and that should honestly be GG as Axe does have...
Back from Axe, they definitely want to finish this game right now.
Yeah, they definitely want to finish the game. That's 110 seconds without a Wind Ranger. And as you said, the Wind Ranger might even be more effective as the Slark this game is doing a lot of work.
Oh no, no
Ooh,
Slark!
Bottom lane,
No!
Slark getting caught out, and that's a buyback on Slark at least. Maybe this buyback will be enough to keep Jace Effects in this game a little bit more. Axe does get the call onto the Tiny. That's gonna get the kill onto the Tiny. Maybe no, he does Shadow Blade out. Slark going on Shadow Demon, decides to get back. Sven just harassing them as much as he can. He does still have his ultimate active. It did just expire now though. And maybe there's a chance that AoN is going to finish the game here, even with the Slark buyback. Nyx Assassin does have that Aghanim Scepter.
Like, get Megas.
Yeah, they're at least going to try to get Megas. That's a tiny stun onto the Shadow Shaman, and that's a bit bad position from Shadow Shaman, and that's a call onto Slark. Almost gets hexed, but he does manage to purge it off. Kyo dropping pretty low. That does go through BKB, and the Nyx Assassin might catch him, but he stopped for no reason. And Axe getting egged. Another savior from Shadow Demon. The eggs are extremely effective this game. Middle lane, Jace Effect desperately wants something from all the buybacks they used here, but they can't chase too far as it's going to lose them the game if they chase here. But they really want to get as much out of this as possible. They only have one Rax left, and it falls to a bunch of creeps.
This is not looking good for Jace Effect. I think they let this Arc Warden just do whatever he wanted, and this is why they're in this position.
Yeah, this is pretty strong here from AoN. And it was in Jace Effect's control there for a while, but like that Arc Warden just does so much work. It's just everywhere. Look, again, he's in the bottom lane. He's relentless. He doesn't stop doing this. Like, he'll never is merciless. And he even goes onto the Omni Knight. Omni Knight not expecting it. Is he going to get the kill onto the Omni Knight? And Arc Warden actually dies to Wind Ranger in the top lane. He does have a buyback at least. But still, the Wind Ranger doing some good work, getting at least some pickoffs onto the pesky Arc Warden. Sven does have a double damage. They might try to do something with this. A lot of damage now onto the Sven. Jace Effect goes on Sven. Sven's gonna die most likely. No, Brand Bicep does have the call in return, and he calls onto the Wind Ranger, and Wind Ranger does die there in the end, maybe a little bit.
Actually, she still has buyback.
Yeah, she does have buyback again. and he is gonna use it. Axe does get a kill there onto the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin been getting caught off quite a bit this game. Slog playing really aggressively. Axe doesn't have any mana, so maybe this could get an Axe kill. Yeah, it does get the leap onto the Axe, and yeah, that's an Axe kill at least, so they should be able to defend Megas for the time. I mean, defend the throne for the time being, as Tiny does push out the bottom lane.
I mean,
And
if they're
does not have
gonna
the
do
Arc
a
Warden.
all 5-man commit, Remedies can just buy back and just finish the game if they're not careful.
Yeah, they have to be extremely careful, as like also the double catapults that are spawning in now. And that's a kill onto
good
Skippy
hero.
as well. That's only 2 euros alive here from AoN. Maybe Jace Effect can do something with this. Maybe get a Rax. Maybe force a buyback, but I doubt it, as AoN does still have the Sven, and they do have the Arc Warden in only 30 seconds.
I think they need to go to Rush right now before the Mega Creeps get
Yeah,
too
they-
far.
I even think like the Mega Creeps have gone too far, as Tiny is going to help his team, but it's not going to help because he doesn't have TP, and the Mega Creeps are pushing their
They're
base
fully
at the moment.
committing to this.
They're
and
going
they're
for
gonna
the
lose
full
tip
push. They're
off.
going for the 5-man push here. They
Gee.
want to end the game. This is all or nothing now from Jace Effects as they go full in.
Arc Warden is back into. I don't think they can actually finish this. This next has
Okay,
already TP.
Arc Warden is back and he has buyback. Nyx Assassin does TP back to try and defend the Mega Creeps. Not the best hero to defend it, but he is going to try. And that's a catch onto the Slog. Slog barely survives. He does have his ultimate active, but he was forced to use the BKB there. And Tiny throwing a bunch of trees. Kyo does get a stun onto the Omni Knight. Omni Knight should be able to run out of this, but if they get the kill here onto the Tiny, that would be big for AoN. Very big indeed, and basically nothing happened.
I really dislike this Axe and SNY purchase from the Slug. It's just like, why? Why the Axe?
What does the Axe do on Slok? Oh, it's the
This makes the ult,
AoE.
like, bigger. Slug will never play around his team. He's always looking for pickles.
Yeah,
Your ult
exactly.
doesn't do really anything for your team.
I think the logic behind it, if there is any logic, is he wanted to either he raged or he wants to ult his team under the throne and then push the throne, but that's not gonna work, I think.
I mean, ulting.
That's 5 euros
ulting
alive for
your
both
team-
teams. Yeah, AoN does seem like they do want to push the high ground, even with the 5v5, as there is no buybacks really on Jace Effect. Yeah. Never mind, they have
Remedy
2
can just
buybacks.
keep pushing, I guess.
Yeah, Remedy is still pushing. Now he has Manta as well, and the Manta's pushing. Everything he has is pushing. Arcane Rune, please give that to Remedy. Oh, this is going to be so ridiculous. Arcane Rune on Arc Warden is one of the grossest things you'll ever see.
600 damage for his Spark Rate, and he can spam one every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And he has another. Oh my god, are you kidding?
Yeah, this is going to be a high ground push here from AoN with Jace Effects lacking some buybacks and Aegis on AoN. We got Cheese. Cheese on Sven. Yeah, this should be a high ground push. Let's see what happens. Axe ready to call, ready to get the call of destiny. And Nyx Assassin just burrowed up in his own base. He's gonna try
Jace is
his
going for the backlines. He's trying to find.
Jace Effects, yeah, he's trying
I
to
don't know
find the
what he's
Arc
trying to
Warden here.
do.
Arc Warden is
You're not going.
shadow bladed and actually goes on the wrong person, as Arc Warden is going to hex him, and Jace Effects dropping
Oh
pretty low.
no,
There is a
this
call
is-
onto Jace
oh.
Effects. He doesn't have the
That's
buyback on
cheating.
Wind Ranger, and they do go on Kyo as well.
cheating.
Kyo dropping pretty low. Nyx Assassin trying to do his best, and that's a ultimate from Omni Knight, but it seems like AoN is just doing way more damage at the moment than Jace Effects.
Buyback from Kyo.
Yeah, buyback from Kyo.
It's GG.
And he bought Boots of Travel, so he's just back into the fight immediately. Yeah. I mean, AoN not even going for throne at the moment, they're just enjoying it. Maybe this could be a mistake even.
I think they're diving into. Guys, why aren't you hitting?
Yeah, they're not going for the throne at the moment. Maybe they're being a little bit cocky as they haven't quite won yet. They do get the kill onto the next assassin. Next assassin does have buyback and he obviously uses it. Skippy still doesn't die somehow. Tiny dropping pretty low there. Skippy does have his Ghost Scepter active at the moment, and Slock dropping low, but he does have his ultimate active. He does want the kill onto the Shadow Shaman and does get that kill. Keo getting the kill onto Omni9, and that's a double kill for Slock. 3v4 at the moment. At the moment, the throne is dying as 4 catapults is attacking the throne. They're trying their best to defend it. That's a Nyx Assassin and a Tiny trying to defend it. For some reason, Tiny TP'd back, and 4 catapults attacking the throne. 6 catapults attacking the throne. They really need to disable these catapults. Nyx Assassin is going to have to die for this. It's not going to be enough though, as Baron does tip the Nyx Assassin. And that's a GG well played. It was a pretty close game, and then just a couple mistakes from... Not really mistakes, just really well played from Remedy.
That last pick, like Remedy knows what he's doing with the hero. He knows exactly. I don't panicking under these situations.
Yeah, he did, and like also you can just see like even under situations where most players would buy back, he didn't buy back. Like there's 2 times he saved it really long because he knows his buyback is so important, and then yeah, it's just really good player. But I mean, everyone on AoN did well.
I think Jace made the effect in that few last fights. I think Jace made the mistake of like going to the backline because he didn't really kill anyone. He just got caught up.
Yeah, he went.
No buyback.
He went to try and get the Orc Warden, but like Remedy being a good player, he used the Shadow Blade, and so Windranger couldn't find him, and Windranger actually initiated on like I don't know, Shadow Demon or something, and then Remedy just hexed him. So that was pretty
even
big
if you,
play, just
you get
Shadow
Remedy,
Blading there.
he has ages, but you as a winner, you don't have any buyback. I think that's such a risky move to make.
Yeah, that is.
The Slog Ags, it's so bad. Why would you get this item?
Yeah, I would very much like to know why. Maybe he bought it when maybe he bought it when they were doing so well, and like he was being a little arrogant almost.
I don't even. Like Abyssal Blade's locked up.
Yeah, if he had Abyssal Blade, that would have been different. Abyssal Blade, then he would have been able to pick off the Arc Warden. Even like Silver Edge to disable Sven Cleave, disable Axis Spin.
Slog just went for. He was doing well, but it's a Slog late game. What do you expect? But I think he could have done much more.
Yeah, they needed Slog to be like even stronger late game, and I think the Bash would have done a lot more there.
I don't know how. Wait, is there another game? No, wait. I think it's over. It's over.
Yeah, that's the series. It was a pretty good game. I mean, it lasted
Jace Effect,
56 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely did better than they did last game.
Yeah. So are you friends with the Jace Effects guys or what?
Yeah. So I'm playing for Nova, the Nova Republic of Nova Gaming, and Jace Effect is under that organization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see like it says like a HyperX sponsor. What's that all about?
Are you cut out for a bit?
What's the HyperX sponsor?
HyperX, I actually don't know.
That seems pretty cool. That's a nice sponsor, dude. Just give me some RAM.
Give me a paycheck.
RAM, headphones.
I mean, I actually when I was a recruiter onto the team, I was actually supposed to play mid, but then I got moved to position 5 because no one in our team plays position 5, and only I knew how to play position 5. Everyone just went for carry and fucking. I was like, oh, fuck it, I want to.